Hey y'all, so look, like I said, I'm on this GLP-1 and sometimes I get cravings for things and I try my best not to go out and purchase too many snack items from stores. I do my best to make my own snacks whenever possible. And salsa is one of those things that I really like, and it's also one of those things that's relatively easy to make from home. And today was that day where I was craving salsa, and being that I had pretty much all of the ingredients on hand, I decided to make me some salsa. So what you see me doing here is I had already washed the veggies and I'm cutting up some Roma tomatoes, some serrano peppers, and jalapenos, and I also had some fresh garlic. And what I like to do first is roast the veggies in the oven. And when I tell you there are so many variations to salsa, there are tons of variations, but this is one way that I like. I drizzled some olive oil on them, and you'll see me with a basting brush just basting them a little bit. It's something about that char on the veggies that are used to make salsa. That char just gives them that extra oomph, I guess you can say. And so I'll put them in the oven. And it has been some time since I've made salsa. And so you'll see when I initially put them in the oven, I did not have the oven up high enough. I kept checking them and they weren't really charred. And while they were in the oven, I went ahead and cut up some more tomatoes and cilantro and stuff, because I like with the charred vegetables, those are the ones that I put in my blender. And you see that steam coming off. I should have waited a little bit before blending it, but that's okay. So after all the veggies had charred, that coarse sea salt I'm putting in there. And I know it looks like I'm putting a lot, but I kept the paper on half of the container to control the amount of salt that comes out. So I was having to shake pretty vigorously in order to get any out. And typically you would wait and let your veggies cool a little bit more than I did. I thought I had let them cool enough, but clearly I didn't. So I added all those veggies and some cilantro to my blender. And I don't just blend, but pulse it some because I want it a little smooth, but at the same time, I want a little bit of texture in my salsa. I've had salsa that was, blended and tastes really well, but I do like a little bit of texture. I pretty much like a little bit of texture in all my veggies. I was pushing the veggies down a little bit because, as you see, some of the cilantro didn't blend here. I got a spoon and I am tasting a little bit of it to check the seasoning. And just as I suspected, it did not have enough salt. Here I'm trying my best to get some of the salt out. Again, I didn't take the paper that's underneath completely off because I want to control the sodium or the salt, period, when I use it. So I have to shake a little bit harder. And again, I didn't want it salty. I want to have a little bit of salt without it being salty. A, for blood pressure reasons, and B, clearly I'm on a GLP-1, so I am working on weight loss. And so once I got it blended to my desired consistency, I poured it in the bowl. And another reason I didn't add a lot of salt is, you see, I added that chicken bouillon and got another spoon Tasted it again, added my chopped up tomatoes. Look at me hitting the camera. Added a little bit of red onion, and I have forgot the green onion. So I did have one. I chopped up the one that I had really fine and put that in there. Then I squeezed my lime juice in the end. You can add it with your blended veggies if you like, but I prefer adding my fresh lime juice at the end. And yeah, there's my salsa. It's a little bit chunky again, which is what I like, but it was amazing. And just as I stated, it's fresh and I was able to control the sodium. Thank you so much if you made it this far. If you're new here, thank you for coming. If you're not new and you're a returning user, please come back again and consider subscribing. Thank you. Goodbye.